talking about the heavy tea roast.
No, that is not living the organic lifestyle.
That's right. Neither is shopping at any food supply places in America.
That is, you're absolutely right. And you know, let's bring on our guest right now. This is a perfect segue because easy with those sound effects, homie.
I'm not going to do steroids because I don't want my shit to shrink. But
calling in,
I am
from
old
the
and
Aloha
HGH is good.
state of Hawaii. Our main man Jim from the Bokashi Bucket, founder and president. Hey, Jim.
What's happening, guys? How y'all doing?
Great.
Oh, man, we're doing well. What's going on with you out there?
Oh, man, just enjoying some of the sunshine and nice, beautiful women and some good surf.
And that's what's up.
Plan.
Nice.
Spreading the aloha around everywhere. And, you know, that's what Bokashi Bucket, come to find out, is what it's about. It is taking that term, spread the aloha, to the literal sense. You guys,
Absolutely.
You guys have come up with a nice, easy-to-use formula to compost your kitchen scraps, your otherwise compostable scraps in your Bokashi buckets. Tell us a little bit about the Bokashi bucket and the Bokashi that you guys grow.
Right on, right on. Well, first of all, I just want to say mahalo to you guys for having me on the show.
No doubt.
I really appreciate what you guys do here. You know, you guys are out here spreading some information and making it funny. I've definitely had quite a few laughs just hanging out listening. So that's first and foremost. So thanks for having me on here. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on and
Thank you.
And rap with you guys and shoot some info to your guests.
Well, right on. So tell all the listeners out there, because listen, there's going to be about 50,000 people that are hardcore gardeners, growers. No one's listening to this show that's not into growing, not into gardening.
Sure. So
and a lot of those people have the sense of wanting to be more green, but they don't necessarily know how.
Right on. Yeah, man. So the Bokashi Bucket is really cool because, like you said, it's a home composting system, and it's designed to compost 100% of your food scraps and garden scraps too.
No
and
shit.
You're doing it in an environment,
Even meat.
in a way where there's no foul smells.
Even meat, you're saying.
What's that?
Even meat.
Even meat. You can actually put in meat, bones, and dairy.
I eat all the meat. We don't throw any meat away at my house. We eat all the meat.
Between him and his horty hose.
Any of the fat or any of the bones you can put in there, no problem. And what's great is that you're able to do it in a really easy and convenient way, right inside your kitchen. There's no foul smells, and there's no problems with bugs. And the whole thing only takes like 6 weeks. You're going from your organic waste to something that you can actually use in your garden in 6 weeks, which is unheard of. I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried any type of other like outdoor?
Oh, for sure,
for
sure. And you know, we live in LA here, so there's most of us don't have a lot of area, a lot of land to compost. Our composting bins, if we don't turn them on time, our piles, they can become cesspools for insects. They can become cesspools for odors and rodents or other pests coming in. But you're saying with the Bokashi Bucket, this isn't a problem because it's actually in your kitchen. How do you keep a composting system in your kitchen without it making it smell like ass?
Yeah, good question. So basically, the thing it's literally it looks like a bucket. It's like the size of a 5-gallon bucket, but it's specialized. So it's got a strainer plate in the bottom to separate out the liquids and the solids. But essentially, what you're doing is you're layering all of your food scraps with our Bokashi Activator, which is this brand that we cook up down here, and it's loaded with all these different beneficial microbes that basically go to work eating up and breaking down your food waste through what's called anaerobic fermentation. So basically, we're fermenting or pickling our food scraps.
Wait. So we are familiar with anaerobic.
And then we'll have like compost wine too?
So this is the thing with anaerobics, like you said, fermentation. You have to keep it sealed up and very tight so it doesn't have oxygen to it. It feeds on not having oxygen. And with plants, most times we talk about aerobic microorganisms. But now we're using those anaerobics to break down our scraps into a plant fertilizer?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you brought up something good. And people always say, whenever you heard the word anaerobic, you kind of cringe up and you're like, whoa, it's not a good thing. But the microbes that we're using are specialized to thrive in an anaerobic environment, and they actually, they do their best work there. So that's why.
Do they help keep at bay the other anaerobic bacteria that are usually potent to plants?
The bad ones.
Right. So they dominate and they take it over, but they compost it so much more quicker, so much more rapidly than the aerobics.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're very aggressive, and what we're doing inside the bucket is not really composting, more so than it's fermentation. So we're adding these microbes through our Bokashi. We're inoculating these food scraps, these organic, and then once your bucket is full, what you're doing to finish it off, you're mixing it with soil. So we recommend either putting it right into your garden. You could dig a trench in the yard, but the method that I really like to do is just get one of those totes, one of those storage totes.
Right, like a 20, 30 gallon from Home Depot.
Exactly, and then dump your bucket in. In about 4 weeks, you come back, and it's like you got black gold. I mean,
it's rich potting soil. It's rich potting soil.
Yeah,
so not to confuse the listener, you actually take the food scraps that are being broken down, and that's what becomes the soil. What about all the liquids? I noticed at your bucket, you guys have a dispenser. That's a nice, easy-to-use dispenser. What is coming out of there? Is that trash? Are we discarding that, or is that useful?
No, absolutely not, man. So the liquid that gets sent to the bottom, that stuff is actually rich in life. It's teeming with microbes and nutrients. So what we do is we dilute that at about 2 to 3 ounces in a gallon of water, and we use it as a soil drench. I put it in my my pump sprayer, and I do full foliar spray. I'm spraying down the entire garden, my outdoor garden, and the plants absolutely love it. So, I mean, what's great about the whole thing is that, nothing is wasted.
Right.
Everything gets used and everything gets recycled back into the soil.
And let's be clear what can go into the Bokashi bucket that's going to create this super soil and also the liquid fertilizer byproduct. It's all the food scraps, or like traditionally in our compost we have a bunch of leafy greens. We don't use animal byproducts like meats, all those things. The Bokashi though, the Bokashi bucket actually allows us to use everything with our traditional composting, and that explain that to me. Like I'm a little confused what goes into it.
What you're referring to was traditional aerobic composting setup where you're mixing in. You need to have the right ratio of carbons to nitrogen. So your carbons are like your leaves and your your wood trimmings and stuff like that,
right.
And your nitrogen would be things like your food waste or manure. So with this, there's no need to mix in the carbon. It's just straight food scraps, which helps because the ratio is like 20 to 1 or something like that. So you got to have all this carbon for this little bit of food scraps, and a lot of people just they don't really have the space for all that, nor the time to be mixing up a pile of watering it and doing all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, if you're turning it by shovel or even a mechanism that allows some of these compost tumbling bins, it's a lot of work. And if I'm a little gray-haired or blue-haired old lady, I might not want to get out there and do that, but I still want to be green. I want to feed my plants from what I can produce from the scraps, and that's where the Bokashi comes in.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's an incredible system, and we actually got share a lot of information through our Instagram at the Bokashi Bucket, and if you just search that hashtag, the Bokashi Bucket, man, you see there's so many things that people are doing with it. I mean, we have users that they're actually like specializing a certain formulation of ingredients. So they're like, with this one, I'm only going to add citrus and maybe throw in a little bit of this. And so they're kind of fermenting their own different fruits and vegetables.
They're gaining that experience.
Wild.
They're gaining that experience and actually applying it to certain specific crops. And I'm sure increasing terpene production, increasing flavor, flavonoid production, all these great things that you can get from organic fertilizers, man. Tell me, Jim, a little bit about the Each One Teach One farm. What is Bokashi doing with that?
For sure. So, I started Each One Teach One Farms. That's the parent company that we produce the Bokashi Bucket. That's just one of our products. And really, the whole mission was I kind of went through this transformation maybe about 7 years ago, where I just changed a lot of things in my life, from the foods I ate,
right?
To, what I put in my body, what I put in my mind, all that kind of stuff. And
so you only smoke the green?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just kidding. He only composts the meat.
Yeah. So I just really want to share a lot of these good living, sustainable living things with other people, and I just felt like the name Each One Teach One really embodied that whole thing. And so we produce a Bokashi Bucket. We also have another line of Bokashi amendment products called Jimmy's Original.
Okay.
That's going to be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Jimmy's Original.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Yeah. So basically, we've
seen
so much benefits of using Bokashi, not just for composting, but as an actual soil amendment. And we're mixing it into our soils. We're doing top dressings. We're adding it to our teas, and it's just seeing a huge benefit. So what we've been doing is we've been blending Bokashi with other different organic amendments, such as worm castings or rock dust or kelp, a few other things, and seeing some really great results. And so we're coming out with another line that's just strictly all those amendments, and that's going to be called Jimmy's Original.
Man, I am so stoked to know that you guys are coming with that aloha love from the beautiful state of Hawaii over there. Because, dude, Big Ag has raped the islands of Hawaii for so long and poisoned the soils with all their synthetic fertilizers. And there's not, unlimited amount of acreage in Hawaii. There's a finite amount. And as we learn more and more about the poisoning that has happened over the last couple of centuries, it's astronomical. And for the Hawaiian population, the people that live there, that are standing up, and you guys are some of the loudest voices over there for the non-GMO, for the organic movements, for the sustainable living movements, because you guys are on a little fucking rock. You guys are on a little rock that if that rock fails, then you got to come and live with us, assholes.
Oh, the mainland sucks.
Yeah,
and it's a great example, dude. And the Bokashi Bucket is a great example of how people can incorporate sustainable living easily into their lives, with their kids, classmates, with your friends. Go give a Bokashi Bucket to a friend for their birthday or for Christmas. It's the old adage, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man a fish, he eats for a fucking lifetime. And that's what I love about Bokashi. Dude, straight up, how much, if I want to get the Bokashi Bucket today, I go into my local hydro store, gardening center, wherever it is, how much does it take for me to get started composting today?
So the retail price is anywhere between $60 and $70. We're carried at, you can grab one if you're in Southern California, Arizona, Nevada, you can grab one at Whole Foods. And then we're also linked up with the guys over at Vital Garden Supply.
Nice.
They distribute to a bunch of stores.
Yeah, Brad and Eric are awesome.
Yeah, but then you can also go to our website, thebokashibucket.com, and grab one over there for $60, and we got free shipping as well, too. So there's a few options. But I'd like to give a few away tonight, if you don't mind, to your listeners. I kind of just sprung this up on you guys.
No, dude.
I want one.
Hey, hold up.
I'll take one.
I'll take a free one.
Listen to this. I actually gave one to my mother-in-law,
throw me
my 90-year-old grandmother who's using it extensively, and my parents. I gave one all this Christmas to them because of what I've seen myself. And straight up, they're absolutely awesome. So what do you want to give out to the listeners tonight, Jim?
Well, I'd like to, I don't know, we got a few here we can give out. So maybe you want to do three? I got
3 complete units?
3 complete units, and each unit comes fully set up, ready to go, with a bag of Bokashi Activator that'll last you probably about a month or 2.
All right, then there it is. At the Bokashi Bucket on Instagram. Check them out at BokashiBucket.com. Jim, I applaud you, man. Hey, you guys got this all started on a crowdfunding site too? Is that correct?
Yeah,
that's legit.
We did a Kickstarter to raise. Basically, that was to raise funds to do a large scale food waste composting, testing out this technology on a large scale. But it was also to help kind of push our company to the next level, help us, stock some some inventory, working with a manufacturer to make the buckets, things like that. So it's man, we're blessed. It's been quite a journey, and I think it's testament to the fact that when you give and you share, like you guys are doing as well, you get so much back in return.
That's what's up. That is its own reward.
I have one last question. Is there anything that you would consume out of your fridge that you like? Anything that we would eat that you can't put in there? I mean, is bread okay?
Yeah, with the yeast and stuff. That's a good question.
Bread's fine. The only things you wouldn't put in there are like things with like a heavy oil, or like a straight liquid. So say you had a soup, you toss off the liquid part, but then you could dump the solids in there, even if it's moist, but you don't want to go dump it in like just straight liquid.
Right, so after I cook 80 pounds of bacon and drain it off into a fucking tin can, when that's done and dries out, I don't want to spoon that into the Bokashi bucket.
Nah, you're going to want to use that to cook some more bacon.
Got you.
Hell yeah. And, hey, you strain off the shit from your soup, that broth, you recook that shit. Reuse, recycle, Bokashi Bucket. Check them out at the Bokashi Bucket on Instagram and BokashiBucket.com. Yeah. Jim, I really appreciate you spreading the good word. Dude, it sounds like you're really passionate about your product, about this style of living. I'm going to put you on the spot. I hate to do it, but I'm going to do it. Is if you can leave our listeners with one lasting impression, whatever it is, motivational phrase, words to live by, or just a peace out, what would you leave them with?
So first of all, I just want to say it's thebokashibucket.com, the website.
My bad.
As far as my parting words, I would just say, a lot of times we hear about another way to do things, or things should be done better, and sometimes that leap can seem really big. But one of the things that I always preach is small changes can have a big impact. So if it's just a matter of maybe you start a Bokashi bucket, maybe you just start recycling your cans and bottles for a change, or for start. Just those small changes have a big impact, and those things usually lead to more changes. So don't get stressed out, don't freak out. Just start small and keep it moving.
That's right. Change your household before you change the world.
Exactly. Yep. Got it, man.
Hey, Jim, thebokashibucket.com. I got you, brother. When you come over to Long Beach, California, you come into the studio, we'll get super safe, have a good time, talk more Bokashi. What do you say?
I'd love to. I appreciate it, guys. You guys take care. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Hey, thanks, man.
Aloha, brother. Dude, and all that Jim laid it down is so fucking true, and it turns into the same thing that's going on in California right now with the major drought that we're in. Why do you got to wait for the government to try and tell you don't water your fucking lawn or cut down on use of this or that? You can do these things today, and you can make changes today without having the government have to tell all the stupid people what you already know. All right?
Right.
Make changes. Yeah, so fucking what if Horty's your neighbor and pouring fucking hose water on the old lady down the street? Let him waste that water. You conserve the water. Bokashi Bucket, thebokashibucket.com. Great shit from Jim over there.
Yeah,
Again,
Jim.
Much love to you.
Yeah.
Much aloha. We're taking one quick break, and we're coming back with The World According to Duff.
Having tea roast.
You're listening to DFZRadio.com.